This week on the Spotlight, Rockin' Robin talks about his new improved 2014 White Sox. And we talked to one of those guys, a pitcher with a very interesting story and an interesting role model, too. Then we do basketball. Here's a guy who's been rebounding the heck out of the ball and scoring some, too, of late. And then we flash back to the Blackhawks of the 90s and a great player, and now an executive. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago sports teams are making news, it's the 25th year of the Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove. Benkowski Trivia is there Wednesdays, April 9th at 8 p.m. The next. Great people, great game, 1750 East 55th Street, right by the lake. So I'll see you at the Cove for my trivia game on April 9th. Wax on, wax off, salon and spa. I'm getting my hair cut there, 312-226-1473, 1044 West Taylor. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. The T-Wax Company, real estate investments, a chance for you to buy Chicagoland properties and have profit opportunities since 1985. Call my friend Mr. Thomas at 773-456-3057. Make money. The T-Wax Company. Jukebox Billiards, 25% off on all new pool tables and shuffleboards, official supplier of the United Center. Celebrating their 25th anniversary, table moving and recovering. Call them at 219-836-2550 in Munster. JukeboxBilliards.com, a great place, Jukebox Billiards, for all your billiard needs. You got to check out Mr. C's Midway Bar at 4654 West 63rd Street. You know, they're open till 2 a.m. every day. They got the best Bloody Marys, and I know I've had them. Great neighborhood prices, a fun place to be. We'll have a video shoot for the Blackhawks coming up one of these weeks. Stay tuned for that. Calabria Imports, great Italian food, and a fine deli. Mention this TV ad for 10% off of your order. They've got catering and fine sandwiches at 1905 West 103rd Street. You got to check out Calabria Imports. Last time there, I got some sausages, some very fine foods of all kinds. Calabria Imports, 1905 West 103rd Street. We're back on the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball, and we're talking Robin Ventura. Certainly with no games played and of real consequence, optimism has to run extremely high. And so Robin, and he's always in a pretty good mood, I would say, maybe up until they lost 90 games last year. But this year is a fresh slate with new people, and he certainly addresses that, talks about some of the particulars in the lineup, a little bit about his bullpen, and it gives a pretty good overview to start the 2014 season.
Robin, the world wants to know who's your closer.
Today it would be Lindstrom. And you know, it's. I'm not trying to be that secretive about it, but if you name it a week ago and something happens, then you got to name somebody else, and then you have to explain why. So we'll wait. I'm looking forward to having Matty go out there in the ninth.
What the idea is going to be? Is going to be by committee for the time being?
Well, for right now, it's Matty, and then we'll go from there.
Why a decision on Matt?
I just have confidence in him, you know, with what he's done in the past and what he did in spring training. He's the right guy to start us off.
Robin, what went into the decision for Connor in the free-roll?
You know, he's just a good hitter. I think, you know, you start looking at his at-bats, his approach. You can insulate him with Abreu and Simeon around that. And, you know, last year we didn't have a whole lot of balance. I think this year we have some balances, having lefties and righties, and you put him in front of Jose and insulate Jose as well.
Coming out of spring training, what element of your offense excites you the most?
Well, I think, the balance that we have that we didn't have last year. We were very right-handed heavy last year. This year we have, with Eaton and Connor in there full time, that we do have some balance with Diaz in left field. So, I think that's something that we didn't have last year. Maybe a little more versatility than we had last year.
It could call upon you to have to play the hot hand more. What about that extra duty, if you will?
That's just part of doing the job. I think, we're here to win games, and if that's, you go with the hot hand, that's part of it. And, for right now, we'll find out who has the hot hand.
From your work in spring training, do you feel very confident that both defensively and from a base running perspective, this is going to be a better baseball team?
It's going to be a better baseball team. And they did the work, and, I think we have the guys to be able to do it.
You still get excited over opening day, Rob?
You always do. You always do. I think, guys come here and they get that work done in spring training. As soon as you leave Arizona, you're just, you're happy. You're happy to get here and get it started.
Robin, Diaz was almost exclusively a leadoff man last year, yet was kind of a run producer in that spot. Do you suspect at 7, or he's going to be in 6 spot at times, that he's going to be driving in a lot more runs?
He'll have more chances, I think, to drive in and run. You just don't as a leadoff hitter. But, he's, he has some pop, too. He had 17 homers, so, I don't see it as a demotion as much as just giving him more opportunities of where he's at. And I think Adam, where he's at, he's where he belongs to.
Having Felipe start the second game, what did you see from him in spring training that gave you the confidence to get involved in game 2?
Well, they're one of the 5 starters, and then you start to look at how many lefties we have and be able to mix and match with those guys. So, he looked better as of late of just being able to locate. I think early on, command was an issue, and he's gotten stronger as the spring's gone along. So, that's the spot where we feel comfortable putting him, and you feel confident with that.
Is having Adam at the top of the order part of that confidence about being a better base running team?
Well, he's a good base runner. I mean, he would lead it off, but I think everybody has probably learned from their ways of last year, and we just feel more confident with the work that we did in spring training. That we're better at that. He was a good base runner when he got here, and I expect him to be that way all year.
What are some of the qualities Lindstrom has shown you that you're impressed?
What's that?
What are some of the qualities that Lindstrom has shown you?
Well, in the past he's close, and right now he feels good. He's throwing a good slider. I think that's part of when he came in last year. It's given a guy a full inning, and I think there's certain guys that like to have that, and I think Matty's one of those guys. He likes to have a full inning to work with. Starting it off fresh, and you got to get 3 outs before they get you.
Do you have to say anything to the guys at the top of your order, like Eaton, like Semien, even Abreu, just to keep them relaxed on a day that's obviously unique in opening day?
Even if you say something, we talked about stuff yesterday, but opening day is special, so you don't know if you're hurting or helping if you try and calm them down. Hopefully everybody has a good day, but everybody's excited on opening day, so you want them to have that and let them go with it.
Part of the equation on the closer, is it also identifying the guys that can throw a couple innings for you leading up to it that helps you identify the guy that
there's some of that. I mean, we don't necessarily have a long guy to speak of, but there's situations in the 7th and 8th that are just as important as the 9th. So you don't know when that's going to be, but I feel we have the right guys that are going to come in when guys are on base and they're used to doing that's the role they've been put in.
You see Nate Jones as an eventual closer down the line at some point?
He could be. Yes. I mean, we have a few guys that could do that. But I think Nate, where he's at right now, he's comfortable coming in any situation and getting a tough out in the 7th and 8th, and he's been used to doing that.
White Sox reliever Donnie Veal, right after these important messages. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Here's a note. O'Rourke's office, 111th and Western. My trivia game coming there Friday, April 11th at 6 p.m. We'll have a good time. I'll have all kinds of questions. They have their usual cocktails and end-to-end fun. O'Rourke's office with my trivia. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. They come to you. You call them at 773-908-6081. Lowest prices, new and used. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They'll do your windshield, back window, or sides. They did a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you, and you'll be amazed at how quickly they come in and finish it up. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. For a great meal, get to Amelia's Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner daily, private parties and catering, a unique mixture of fine dining and Mexican specialties brought to you by the great chef Eusebio Garcia. They're at 46th and Halsted. I've had great meals there, and you will too. Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted. We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk some pitching. And a guy that I had not met yet, and who spent some time in the White Sox bullpen, is Donnie Veal. I have immediate relatability as a left-hander. He's been kind of a situational guy in his time with the Sox so far, but in a reconfigured bullpen, it could be more than that. Time will tell. So we discuss pitching opportunities, his early start in the game, and some surprising ideas about who his role models were early on, and it wasn't a pitcher. We're back on the spotlight, opening day, and we're talking to some bullpen guys. And Donnie, just want to get a handle on how you thought your spring training went. I know they say Arizona doesn't always allow for the good breaking ball. How much truth is there to that?
I think there's a little truth to it. I mean, not nothing to call home about or anything like that, but it does break a little differently there. There's dry air and things don't, but it's not that big a deal. You're getting ready, getting your arm better, and your body ready. So.
Well, you got plenty of humidity in Chicago. That's we're known for that, and bad wind. I don't know how that affects your pitches. Tell us about where you grew up and like maybe a favorite team or players you had as a kid.
I grew up in Arizona, so Kenny Lofton was my favorite baseball player growing up because he went to University of Arizona. It's near my hometown of Sierra Vista. So watched him in college and even minor league ball. He played minor league ball there, so he was a big fan of mine, or I was a big fan of his, sorry. And so obviously I liked Cleveland Indians growing up. Not now, but back then when I was little. But yeah, he was the guy, and just his style of play and just the way he went after the game every day.
Yeah, he was the consummate leadoff guy and on-base guy, stealing bases and stealing home runs and stuff. Were you playing pitcher and position player during your early years?
Yeah, I played both all the way through until I graduated, until I went to college. So yeah, I tried to, about 40 pounds ago, I could model my game after him. I was a little bit faster and a little more athletic, but yeah, he was a guy I looked at too, and tried to model my game after him.
Yeah, well, that's a good model. Then when you went to full-time pitching, were you a starter? I would figure you would have been. And where did you make the bullpen transition?
Yeah, I was a starter through college when I got drafted. Switched to the bullpen after I got hurt in 2010, coming back from Tommy John surgery, and then been bullpen ever since. And it's been a little transition, but gotten used to it.
Tell us about life with the White Sox in the past here. You seem like a good fit. You seem like a guy who has some friends in the clubhouse. Who do you hang with and who do you know here on the club?
I mean, I know a lot of guys. It's getting to that age where a lot of guys you played minor league ball with are starting to get to the big leagues, and a couple guys that passed you on the way or you got drafted with or against playing summer ball, stuff like that. So, I mean, but I've gotten to know like Nate Jones and Webb from last year in minor leagues, and some of the younger guys. Eric Johnson, got to know him a little bit, and Simeon. Obviously, I've known Danks, and we were high school, same draft. But we have a good group. Everyone seems to get along pretty well, so it's a good fit for everyone.
Now, in your current role, you might go an inning, but you also might just face one guy. Tell us about some of the left-handed hitters that you got last year where you felt really pumped up about going after some big names.
Well, obviously I faced Prince. It seemed like every night we played them. If I didn't face him, I was ready for him. You know, pretty much all the lefties in our division: Gordon, Kipnis, Stockus, Hosmer, Brantley. If there's a lefty on a team in our division, I'd probably face them, and that's what I'm getting ready for. But try to expand our role and see if we can help the team in other ways this year. Obviously Mauer, Minnesota, and so all those guys.
Yeah, that's a formidable group. Well, in the new configuration of your bullpen, you know, who knows? You know, you might end up seeing more action. It seems like it's kind of a work in progress, and you probably relish the chance to pitch a little more, maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no big defined like absolutes right now. Everyone's just ready. Just when their name's called, be ready to pitch, and everyone is ready to do that. So. It could be late, could be early, it could be lefties, righties, I don't know, but we're going to be ready to go when our name's called.
To wrap up, you got some new faces in the lineup, and it certainly looks like you've added some speed and production. Tell us what it'll be like in 2014 with that new juice.
It's going to be exciting. We got a little more athletic. We obviously got a little more speed. So hopefully we can cause some more havoc on the bases and put some pressure on the defenses like we've had put on us. So it's going to be nice, a good change, and I think we'll surprise people this year. Definitely surprise the people.
Well, maybe you could talk to Adam Eaton and tell him how he needs to copy Kenny Lofton.
Eaton does his own thing, and he's good at what he does, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm not going to mess with him.
All right, we wish you the best this year.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alton, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. Little Frank's Pizzeria and Bar. Easy to reach, 6353 West 79th Street. On Thursdays, $1.50 Miller and Old Style. Trivia alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. They have $15 large pizza and pitcher all day, every day. Little Frank's on 79th. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You got to get to Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted, open for lunch and dinner daily, private parties and catering, a unique mixture of fine dining and Mexican specialties brought to you by the great chef Eusebio Garcia. Enjoy it. Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted. You'll be glad you went. We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk Bulls. Can't go far as back as this era, but sometimes intense games and possible playoff previews do remind you of those 90s Bulls and their enmity with Detroit. The Bulls and Pacers are a few notches behind, but it's getting there. And their games have a fair amount of trash talking, physical play. 2 teams vying for the same bone, and the way Taj Gibson describes it, that bone is a rematch with Miami, the team that everybody wants to unseat, and that's the team you have to go through to get to the NBA Finals. That's part of the goal that Taj talks about in this good chunk of analysis of this stretch drive. Can you talk about your role in the offense and the way it was clicking today? Because it was.
I just take my looks. watched a lot of film, just so they were giving me all my open looks. Just being aggressive the way I've been all year, and just try not to get in foul trouble this game.
Can you describe how intense these games have been with the Pacers?
It's intense. Joakim's talking, Hilbert's talking. A lot of stuff's being said in the media. We try not to get involved with that, just play our games. And tonight we just played our game.
You're always fired up, and you seem particularly fired up tonight. Is that because of fouling out last game?
I didn't like how I played last game. I felt like Tibbs tells me, he says the teams now are really trying to see that you're getting a lot of teams' attention now. They're trying to take you out. You got to be aggressive. You got to. This is another step in this year development and getting past these things. And I took advantage of it tonight. I was frustrated. I didn't like how Scola had 19, 20 points in 20 minutes. And I really didn't like that at all. And I just wanted to come out, have a better showing on defense, and the offense just came to me.
Could you ever envision a day where you would be the leading scorer on this team the last couple of months? That's what you've been.
I always had a belief system. Like Derek told me, just always believe in yourself. Just take it and run with it once you get your confidence. And my teammates always believed in me. That's the main thing. Everybody believes in each other. When one guy goes down, everybody's just going to keep playing.
You remember the sequences, and you guys kind of not broke it open, but in the third quarter, you kind of pumped up. You made a score, and then the three-point play at the end of the quarter, and then Kirk's plays also in between there. That seemed to set the difference. What did you see in that period of time?
I felt like Joakim was getting doubled on the offensive end as far as going to the offensive glass. And I just took my looks as just going in right behind him, and I was getting a lot of easy chip-ins and just trying to go up strong because I know it's going to be real physical. I knew they were going to try to foul, and I'm just being real aggressive, and they were fouling.
What was your perspective on the Kirk play where he stripped Paul George on that breakaway and you got the tip slam at the other end?
Just going hard to the glass. They were really dominating us in the last game, especially on the glass, and they were laughing. And it's frustrating when you're playing against a team that's similar to you and they're like your rival and they're slapping fives and laughing in your face. You know, we take too much pride in rebounding the ball and playing solid basketball.
Is it safe to say it was a playoff type intensity in a game like this?
Of course it is. They're number one seed in the East. They're playing just for the same thing as like us, trying to get over the hump of just trying to make it deep in the playoffs and try to get back to the Heat. We got the same kind of mentality. It's just like looking at your twin. They're just having a great year right now, and we just got to keep learning from this and keep pushing.
Do you feel like you've been overlooked by them at times? They're just looking straight at Miami?
No, we don't really get into that. Look at how we did in the last couple of years. We basically did the same thing early in the years that they're doing now. And everybody at the same point, basically the same process right now, trying to get past Miami at the end of the day.
You better get to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, April 9th at 8 p.m. They have great people and a great game, conveniently located 1750 East 55th Street, right by the lake. So the Cove, a fun place with the extra added fun of Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, April 9th. See you over there.
I eat on the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time at Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine. You'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's.
Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink, at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years. Excellence. Top billiard tables. The place where the action is. Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet in Munster.
On a long road trip.
Well, hopefully it'll turn around for us. You know, we got a break this time. You know, breaks haven't been going for us lately, and we got a break tonight. Hopefully it swings the whole momentum.
Yeah, it was quite amazing to see all the bouncing pucks around the net all night, and we just couldn't seem to get to them. So some nights you gotta work harder, or maybe change the way you work, and obviously it worked out for us.
How about yourself going into the stretch run here? What are you looking to do personally, and who do you feel like you're working with best lineup-wise?
Well, it doesn't really matter. I think it's whatever you do, and I have to remember what my job is. I think I might have been away from it a little bit the last little while, and it's hard. I mean, you look at your stats and you're struggling, and you don't really want to think about it, but you do. I mean, it's in your mind. You got to try to focus on what your job is and stick to it.
Hard work and hit people, and the points will come.
Exactly. I mean, the more I get involved physically, better I play, and I'll have to remember that for the last few games of the season.
You know, now that you got the big long road trip out of the way, this would appear to be the time to possibly fatten up on the schedule and build up a little bit of a first-place lead.
Yeah, we got 7 out of the next 10 games at home, and we've been very successful at home. I think we've only lost 7 games at home, and our power play is twice as good at home as it is on the road, although tonight it didn't really show. We're pretty confident playing at home, and hopefully we can turn things around.
How about, to wrap up, some of the occasional lineup changes? I know Keenan tried a few different things tonight. You feel pretty well settled in on the line you're on, or what about a change or two?
Throughout the whole year, the lines have changed. I've been on every single line on the team, and to tell the truth, I don't really care what line I play on, as long as I get ice time and I'm able to contribute. And I'll probably be on another line tomorrow.
Good attitude.
Slumps are going to happen, you know, obviously over a long course of a season, but I don't think we're working as hard, and that's one thing that we should be able to control. I mean, there's going to be nights goalie's going to stone you, but we were getting away, I think, from doing the things that made us successful. And guys, running around trying to do a little bit too much, and we should know better than that.
One positive element of this game, aside from the obvious win, was that the work ethic was still there at the very end. People were scrambling around, going to the net, looking for the tip and such.
Well, I mean, we've worked hard the last 2 or 3 days, and it's the one thing this team isn't afraid of is working. But you've got to make sure mentally that you stay sharp and you don't, go back into old habits of, like I say, trying to do it by yourself or whatever.
This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.